Yo, what's up, guys? Me, American. Today we're gonna do another NFL tier list, but this time I'm gonna do NFL teams. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. I'm gonna change this one into um potential number one pick. And yeah, I think that's the tier list we're gonna be working with. Um, let's see. We got first pick meh. We got decent, and we got good, and then we got elite. I think that's a fair tier list. So yeah, let's get right into it. So the Bears are gonna be honestly number one pick candidates for now, but I might change it still. But I think they're one of the worst NFL teams right now. I really do. What I mean with one pick is that I could see them being that bad that they could get the number one pick in the next NFL draft. That's basically what I'm basing it off of. The Bucks I'm gonna still put into elite because Tom Brady came back. They did lose Gronk, but who knows how long he'll be gone. They're still a really good team, and in a very not merely competitive NFC, I think there's a good shot that they can have a deep playoff run and possibly make it even to the championship again. Now the Falcons are definitely a number one pick candidate. Many people would say that they're the worst team right now. I would probably agree with that, honestly, because they don't have that many star players on that team right now. Kyle Pitts shows a lot of hope. Drake London, I guess. Defense, they have AJ Terrell, who's really good, but besides that, I don't know. They have a lot of question marks at the quarterback position as well. They have Calvin Ridley isn't doing well. He's out for the entire season because of gambling. So yeah, I don't think they're gonna have that good of a season next year, but who knows? The Browns. The Browns are one of the toughest ones to rank because with the Browns, we don't know how much Deshaun Watson we're gonna see. And if we see a lot of Deshaun Watson, if he plays the entire year, and if he plays the way he played 3 years ago, I could probably put him into the elite category, honestly. But the way it is right now, I'm gonna put him into the good category because I think honestly they might miss out on the playoffs if Deshaun Watson has a long suspension because they're gonna have some trouble winning games without Watson. I think because they don't have any quarterbacks really. I don't know if they have Case Keenum. I'm not that sure actually who they have besides Baker Mayfield, who's still on the team but he doesn't want to play. So that's kind of a difficult situation over there right now in Cleveland. The Seahawks are obviously number one pick candidates. Honestly, I think because yeah, they're obviously going into a rebuild year, and I don't think they care too much or have that high. I don't think the front office has a lot of hope at winning a Super Bowl this year. I think they're really going into a rebuild mode and trying to fix their entire team and get young talent basically on that team. Yeah, okay. So the Lions I'm gonna put into meh category because I think they have a good shot at not being one of the worst teams. I don't think they're going to be average or above average or anything like that, but I think they could definitely win a couple more games than they did last year. But who knows? I mean, they could disappoint again because the Lions have really not had a lot of success ever, really. Uh, but I mean, who knows? But I think they still have some. I mean, we'll see what they do with Aiden Hutchinson and so on. The Cowboys. The Cowboys are a tough one. I'm gonna rank them in good because they still have guys like Dak Prescott. Zeke is solid. The defense should still be pretty good. Um, they did lose a couple of guys though, like Amari Cooper. They lost some guys obviously, and the coaching is really what is really like. Their coaches aren't that good. The coaching overall hasn't been good over there at all. Yeah, it's like Mike McGlinchey, right, as the head coach. I don't know how I feel about him. I don't think he did too well last year. Obviously, he didn't, because his team flew out of the playoffs in the first round. But yeah, I still think they're gonna be a good team because they're not in a pretty like not competitive NFC, and their division isn't really good either. So yeah, I think they're still gonna be a good team. Now over to Washington. I think Washington is gonna be a meh team, kind of like the Lions, because I don't think they're gonna win their division. I think they're gonna win some games, but they still have some question marks, and I don't really believe in Carson Wentz at this point either, to be honest. So yeah, I'm gonna have him into the meh category for now. The Cardinals. The Cardinals are gonna be good. I think they're gonna be a good team, but nothing crazy. I could see them getting maybe 9 to 10 wins next year. Uh, but yeah, I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender or anything like that, honestly. Um, Now the Eagles are a tough one because if you ask me who do I think wins the NFC East next year, it's for me it's between the Eagles and the Cowboys. I don't think the Giants and the Commanders are at that level. Um, but I honestly think I would still go with the Cowboys to win the division. So I'm gonna put the Eagles into the decent category. But they could also win, so who knows? Now the Dolphins are a tough one as well because I think the Dolphins are really overrated. I don't know. I think they're not. They're a little overrated because of like some of the pickups they've made. I honestly don't think Tua. I don't think Tua's anywhere close to being a top 10 QB. I'm gonna have. I'm gonna have him as a decent team. I think they might sneak into the playoffs, but I don't think they're like a Super Bowl contender or anything like that. Okay, so now the Patriots are also a really tough one. I'm gonna put the Patriots into decent. Their roster really, honestly, isn't even on a decent level, in my opinion. But they still have Bill Belichick, who should sneak out some wins. But honestly, they've had a pretty bad offseason. And their draft was really questionable. Their pickups, like Cole Strange, they made a lot of they reached and everything. They even reached on the wide receiver, Tyquan Thornton. I don't know. I don't like their offseason. I don't really know what path they're trying to approach because it's kind of difficult to understand what the front office of the Patriots are doing right now, to be honest. But I mean, still Bill Belichick, but I don't think they're gonna be that. I don't think they're gonna be that good next year, honestly. The Jaguars. The Jaguars are gonna be either one pick candidates or meh, and oh, I'm gonna put them into one pick candidates still. I still think they're not as good as the Lions, like based. Or let me think a second. Let me think. You know what? No, I'm gonna put them to meh. I think they're kind of on the same level as the Lions, honestly. Because they picked up guys for a lot of money, more money than they should have paid for them. But I mean, you still have these guys on your roster, and if you have the cap space, you might as well do it. And teams like the Jaguars obviously need to pay their players a lot, pay players a lot more because most players don't want to play for the Jaguars because they haven't had success at all. Um, at least as of late. So yeah, I don't think they're gonna be that good next year, but I think they're like solid. They're gonna be below average, but not terrible. Not like they were last year. That's what I think. The Vikings are gonna be decent. The Vikings are always decent. They're always decent. That's all they're never bad. They're never really good. They're just always decent. Sometimes they make it into playoffs as like a 6 or 7 seed, or they barely miss out of it. That's basically what they do. So I still think they're gonna be a decent team this year. Same thing with the Steelers. I'm gonna put them into decent. I think they're gonna be somewhere around 500 next year. So yeah, that's what I think of the Steelers. The Packers, I'm gonna say they're good. They're not elite, I don't think, because they do have a good defense, but they did lose Devontae Adams, and I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is gonna be able to work a lot out without Devontae Adams. I mean, who knows? I mean, they're still obviously a really good team. They're gonna win their division. I'm very confident in that. But I'm gonna put them in good for now. Now the Raiders, I think are gonna be. Wait. I think the Raiders are gonna be decent as well. I'm saying that based on what I'm ranking this also by is by like ranking how good they're gonna rank in their division as well, obviously. And I think they're gonna do decent next year because they're in a really difficult division. And for me, the Raiders are still the weakest link in the division, which doesn't mean a lot. Which doesn't mean a lot because they're all really close to each other, and they're all good teams. But I think the Raiders are still the weakest team, especially because of the quarterback position. I think most people will agree that Derek Carr is, on paper, the worst QB out of the four other QBs. He's the worst out of Mahomes, Russell Wilson, and Justin Herbert, I think. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna have them to decent, but I don't think they're gonna be that great next year. Now the Bills are gonna be an elite team. They haven't really gotten worse since last year, and they've already been really good last year. And yeah, that's just all I can say really. They had a good off. They got some good players, and especially Von Miller, obviously they got, which was like their big pickup. Yeah, he's really good. The Bills are really good. The Bills are gonna be really good next year, obviously. Now the Ravens. The Ravens. I'm gonna say the Ravens are gonna be either good or decent. Let me think. I think they're gonna be decent because they did lose Marquise Brown. I think they don't really have a lot of answers. They don't have a lot of people at the wide receiver position. A lot of good players. Especially not a lot of proven players. I do have Mark Andrews. Their defense is still gonna be really good, but Lamar Jackson is always a question mark because he's always hurt lately. Let's hope he stays healthy. I guess we'll see if he stays healthy next year. But yeah, I'm gonna say they're decent for now. The Saints. What are we gonna do with the Saints? I think the Saints are gonna be decent as well. I have a lot of people in the decent category. I'm gonna make some adjustments in the end. They're gonna be decent because they're never really terrible, I guess, as of late. Jameis Winston is solid, nothing crazy. Defense is good. They got Tyrann Mathieu and those types of guys. Even though Tyrann Mathieu did have a worse season last year than his previous years. Obviously left the Chiefs. Yeah. So I think the Saints are gonna be a good team, a decent team. But I don't think they're gonna pose that big of a threat to the Bucks in order, like when it comes to winning the division. I think the Bucks should fairly easily grab that division, unless something crazy happens, like injuries or whatever. Who knows? The Titans. I think the Titans are gonna be, I would say decent again, but I gotta make some adjustments. You know what? Let me think. Right, what would I adjust right here? Let me think. This is difficult. You know what? I'm gonna put the Raiders in here, and the Titans in decent. That's how we're gonna do this. Giants. I think they're gonna be a one-pick candidate. I don't think they're at the same level as the Lions and the Jags yet. I don't think, honestly. I don't think Daniel Jones is the answer at the quarterback position, and yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. I think they're gonna be number one pick candidates. The Colts. I think they're gonna be good. I think Colts could be a good team. Matt Ryan is obviously an upgrade over Carson Wentz, on paper at least. Their defense is really good. They have Jonathan Taylor, and as long as he stays healthy, he should be fine. Let's just hope they don't overuse him, and let's just hope he doesn't get hurt or anything like that. Because, I mean, that's a very likely thing with running backs. Yeah. The Broncos. The Broncos are going to be a good team. Or are they? I don't like having that many. Should I have all the... You know what? Screw it. I'm going to put them into the good team. Good tier. Good team tier. I think they're going to be a really good team as well. Very solid. So, yeah. The Colts are good. The Broncos, I mean. The Broncos are good. The Jets. The Jets are going to be... I'm going to say meh. They're going to be somewhere in meh. They're obviously still below average on paper, but I think they could be solid. Or at least not terrible. But who knows. The Chargers are going to be good. Obviously, they're a really really good team. They've made some good adjustments, some good moves. So yeah, I think they're a really good team. The Chiefs, I personally think they are still an elite team. Many people say that the Chiefs regressed and they might even not even win their division, which they might. They might not win their division, but I still think the Chiefs are the team to beat in the AFC West. Maybe in the AFC, maybe in the NFL, who knows? But I think they're still an elite team for sure. The Bengals. The Bengals are gonna be good. I think they're gonna be a good team because they've made it to the Super Bowl last year. Haven't really gotten much worse, or they've improved on specific positions. So I think they're gonna be good to go. However, I don't think they're gonna make it to the Super Bowl again because I do think it was kind of a Cinderella story last year, and I think they're definitely not the best team in the AFC. I really doubt that. I really don't think so. They're maybe top five, or maybe even I would maybe put them even in the top 7 to 8 ish range of the in the AFC. Honestly, because I don't think they're close to being the best AFC team, even though they made it to the Super Bowl. Personally, the Texans are gonna be the number one pick candidates. The Texans just they're just really questionable. I don't know, man. The Texans just have a lot to do still, and I think they're definitely gonna be one of the worst teams in the NFL, if not the worst team. I think. Now over to the 49ers. I think they're gonna be a good team. 49ers are always good. I'm gonna say the 49ers are definitely a good team. Even though they have question marks at quarterback position and everything like that, but I think they're gonna be really good to go. The Panthers. I think the Panthers are gonna be meh. I think they're kind of solid. I got all the cats and meh. I just realized. That's all. That's a weird coincidence. I think the Panthers are gonna be okay, but nothing crazy. They still have a lot of question marks at quarterback position. Christian McCaffrey can't stay on the field. At least not as of late. As of in the last 2 seasons, he hasn't played at all, really. So yeah, I think they're not gonna be that great next year, honestly. And the Rams to finish it off, Super Bowl champions from last year. They're gonna be elite. They should have it not too difficult to make it to the Super Bowl or have the playoff run again, because the NFC, like I said, is really not even close to being as competitive as the AFC is. And which we can check it out right now. Let me see. We have one. Let's see how many NFC teams we have in these last two tiers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of 10 teams are in the NFC from the worst 10 teams I ranked. 7 of them are in the NFC, and in the elite category you obviously have 2 and 2, but then over here we have AFC, NFC, 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 AFC, 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 NFC. Okay, yeah, but still we can see there's much more. The AFC teams are just better, I think, or at least there are more really good AFC teams than there are really good NFC teams. But yeah, let me check this out here. All right, here we can see the tiers again. Tell me what you think of the list. Honest opinions, obviously. Yeah, let's have some discussions here. Let's see what you guys think. I mean, looking at it again in like a month from now, I'm probably gonna be still change some things because there might be some more pickups or whatever. Who knows? But right now, this is where what my opinion is on these teams, on how well they'll do next year. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. And